Hey, music lovers! Today we're stepping into the soundscape of January 17th, 1981 for MusicGoldmine.com. Top 10s Revisited, a time when feathered hair ruled, disco was fading, and soft rock was soaring. Brandi from MusicGoldmine.com here. Welcome back to the channel. Get ready to rewind the clock to relive the best tunes from the week of January 17th, 1981, with some cool trivia, surprising stories, and an incredible piece of music memorabilia for the number 4 song. Let's jump right in. Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is The Police with da-do-do-do, da-da-da-da. Yep, it's a mouthful, but Sting said this track is all about the simplicity and sometimes the absurdity of language. The catchy, nonsense syllables were meant to highlight how words can lose meaning. Sting originally wrote this song as a satirical jab at political doublespeak. The Police recorded it in Montserrat, enjoying tropical vibes while crafting this quirky classic. Da-do-do-do, da-da-da-da was the group's first top 10 hit in the UK. It was the second single off the 2-time platinum Zenyatta Mandata album. Sliding into number 9 is Kenny Rogers' mega hit Lady. Penned by none other than Lionel Richie, Rogers once told an interviewer, the idea was that Lionel would come from R&B and I'd come from country and we'd meet somewhere in pop. This romantic ballad topped the charts for 6 weeks in late 1980 and is still swooning hearts today. Lionel Richie wrote the song in just one night, delivering a masterpiece that would become one of Kenny's signature hits. Lady was Kenny's first number 1 on the pop charts, crossing him over from country to pop superstardom. And it would become Rogers' biggest selling hit also. It was the first record of the 1980s to chart on all 4 Billboard singles charts: country, Hot 100, adult contemporary, and hot soul singles. It would also be certified gold. At number 8, we've got Heart with their soulful cover of Aaron Neville's 1966 hit, Tell It Like It Is. Ann Wilson's powerhouse vocals breathed new life into this classic, turning it into a rock ballad with a punch. Did you know that Heart was going through a bit of a rough time during this era? Despite these challenges, their music continued to soar, and this track became one of their memorable hits from the early 80s. It became Heart's highest charting song in the US to that point. Rod Stewart heats things up at number 7 with Passion. This steamy track is all about, well, passion. In love, life, and everything in between. It was one of Rod's biggest hits of the era. And here's a fun bit of trivia. This song doesn't follow the typical verse-chorus structure. It's just a continuous flow of emotions, making it stand out even more. Plus, that groovy bass line is impossible not to move to. It was the biggest single from the album Foolish Behavior that went platinum. Air Supply takes us to Cloud 9 with their dreamy ballad, Every Woman in the World, sitting at number 6. This Australian duo knew how to create songs that tug at your heartstrings, and this one's no exception. This song was originally released in Australia in 1979, but found its way onto their international album Lost in Love in 1980, becoming a hit in the US. In fact, it was a bigger hit in the US than in their native Australia. Lost in Love would go 2 times platinum in the US. Romantic soft rock at its finest. At number 5, we have Hungry Heart by the one and only Bruce Springsteen. This was the Boss's first top 10 hit. And here's a fun backstory. Springsteen originally wrote this song for the Ramones, but decided to keep it for himself after his manager convinced him it was too good to give away. Good call. The song became a defining hit of his career and still packs a punch with its timeless lyrics. Hungry Heart would be certified gold. Surfing into number 4 is Blondie with The Tide is High. This reggae-inspired track is actually a cover of a 1967 song by Jamaican group The Paragons. Debbie Harry and Blondie gave it a fresh, poppy twist while keeping that reggae feel. And voila, it became a chart-topping hit. This was Blondie's third #1 in the US, following Heart of Glass and Call Me. Talk about a winning streak. It was the lead single off Blondie's fifth studio album, Auto American. The Tide is High went gold in the US, and we currently have a gold RIAA award available for sale for this track. We also are thrilled to have a BPI British Album Award available for Auto American presented to Deborah Harry herself, as well as awards presented to her bandmates Chris Stein and Clem Burke. At #3, we've got a duet made in musical heaven, Barbra Streisand and Barry Gibb with Guilty. This smooth, romantic track showcased their incredible chemistry and became one of the standout songs of 1981. Barry co-wrote this song with his brothers, and he produced Barbra's Guilty album. The Bee Gees' magic touch was all over this album, and it earned Barbra a Grammy for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. Additionally, the single Guilty would earn Streisand a Grammy for Best Pop Vocal Performance Duo or Group. The single would go gold, and the album would go 5 times platinum. Neil Diamond pours his soul into Love on the Rocks, our #2 song of the week. Featured in the movie The Jazz Singer, this ballad is all about heartbreak and vulnerability. Here's a cool tidbit. Diamond co-wrote the song with French composer Gilbert Bécaud as kind of a bit of a lark and called it Scotch on the Rocks for Bécaud's favorite drink. But they saw the song's potential and rewrote it as a serious ballad. Whether you're nursing a breakup or just feeling dramatic, this track hits all the right notes. The Jazz Singer would go on to be certified 5 times platinum. And here we are at #1, Just Like Starting Over by John Lennon. This heartfelt song was a return to music for Lennon after a 5-year hiatus and became deeply poignant following his tragic death in December 1980. Lennon described it as an homage to his rock and roll heroes like Elvis Presley. This track was the lead single from Double Fantasy, the album he recorded with Yoko Ono. It's a bittersweet reminder of Lennon's incredible legacy. The song is Lennon's biggest solo hit in the US and stayed at #1 for 5 weeks. It would go on to be certified gold. And that wraps up our MusicGoldmine.com Top 10s Revisited from January 17th, 1981. What a mix of ballads, rock, and pure 80s vibes. Which one's your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Also, do you have a week you'd like to see revisited? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more nostalgic trips through music history. You can also check out the link below to the Blondie Awards and the link to our store where you can find many items from the artists featured in this top 10. Until next time, keep rockin'.